I have discovered that nothing in life is truly worthwhile unless you are willing to take risks. Nelson Mandela wisely stated, "There is no passion to be found in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." This quote carries a profound truth, especially when we reflect on the choices we make throughout our journey. Whether in your school experiences, applying to universities, choosing a career, or deciding which path to follow, people around you will often advise you to ensure something safe, something stable, something you can rely on. However, I never truly understood this concept. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall backward, where I can't see what's coming. I'd rather fall forward because at least then, I'll see what's ahead, what I'm about to face. Life isn't about avoiding falls. It's about how you rise from them. Without persistence, without facing obstacles head-on, you will never accomplish anything truly meaningful. So, do what sparks your true passion, follow what warms your soul. Don't fear mistakes, because they are precisely what pave the way to success. I recall a classic intelligence test where you had to connect 9 dots with only 5 lines, without lifting the pencil off the paper. The only way to solve the problem was to think outside the box. That's the central point. Don't be afraid to think beyond, to dare to dream big, to attempt the seemingly impossible. And remember, dreaming without setting clear goals is just daydreaming. Take Reggie Jackson, for example. He failed 2,600 times throughout his baseball career, the highest number of strikeouts in history. Yet, he is remembered for his home runs, not his failures. Fall forward. Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history, failed 1,000 times before finally creating the light bulb. Did you know that? And do you know what's even more interesting? It doesn't matter if he failed 1,000 times, because the 1,001st attempt changed the world. Every failure brings us a little closer to success. You need to take risks. You need to fail in order to grow. And at some point in your journey, you will fail. You will lose. You will feel frustrated and embarrassed. But this isn't a negative message, quite the opposite. I'm here to tell you to embrace these failures, because they are inevitable and essential. In the world of acting, for example, failure is a constant. Early in my career, I auditioned for a Broadway musical. I thought it was the perfect role for me, with one small exception. I couldn't sing. Of course, I didn't get the part. But the key point is, I didn't give up. I didn't let myself fall backward. I kept trying, preparing for the next audition, and the next, and the next. I prayed, worked hard, fell again, and kept falling. But you know what? There's a saying, if you stay in a barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. And that's exactly what happened. Last year, I had the honor of starring in a play called Fences on Broadway. Interestingly enough, it was performed at the Court Theater, the same theater where, 30 years earlier, I failed my first audition. Life has its ironies, doesn't it? The truth is, all of you, today's graduates, have the preparation and talent to be successful. But I ask, do you have the courage to fail? Because if you aren't willing to fail, you aren't really trying. And if you aren't trying, how will you ever achieve something great? To get something you've never had, you have to be willing to do something you've never done. Now, imagine yourself on your deathbed, surrounded by ghosts. Not scary ghosts, but the ghosts of your unfulfilled potential. The ideas you never acted on, the talents you never developed. These ghosts will be gathered around your bed, disappointed, saying, "We came to you because you could have brought us to life. But now, we must go to the grave with you." So today, I ask you, how many ghosts will be around your bed when your time comes? Recently, I returned from South Africa, a country full of beauty, but also extreme poverty. And Africa is just one example. The entire world needs help. The Middle East, Japan, North America, every corner of the planet calls for compassion and action. Alabama needs you. Tennessee needs you. Louisiana, Philadelphia. All these places need your energy, your talent, your willingness. The world needs you, young people. We need you because you are the next generation of leaders. Remember this, life isn't just about accumulating wealth or achieving personal success. It's about what you do with what you have, whether it's your time, talents, resources, or even your prayers. What will you do with what you possess? It's not about how much you have, but how you use it. Some of you have studied business, others theology, nursing, sociology. Some of you have financial resources, others patience, kindness, resilience. But the question is, how will you use these gifts? Finally, about failure. Sometimes it's the best guide you will have. Our lives rarely follow a straight path. I began college studying pre-medicine, thinking that was my future. But after not understanding anything in a course called Morphogenesis of the Cardiovascular System, I realized that wasn't for me. I tried law, journalism, and without direction, my grades plummeted to a 1.8 GPA. The university even suggested I take some time to think things over. At 20 years old, I was at rock bottom. Then one day, while helping my mother at her beauty salon, an older woman looked at me and said something that changed my life. "Boy, I have a prophecy for you. You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." And sure enough, years later, through my films, I traveled the world and spoke to millions. Even though they never saw the real me, I reached them. Now, looking at all of you today, I see a bright future full of possibilities. And I say, don't be afraid to take risks, to fail, to fall. Because in the end, what matters isn't the fall, but how you get back up. So, when you fall, remember, always fall forward.